Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Scenic Mystery Theater in downtown virtual Tokyo. Today, we are here with a project I have been meaning to do for a very long time now, but I keep getting cold feet. We are going to be doing the first ever watch-along of a Detective Conan movie. Detective Conan is, of course, one of the biggest mystery franchises in the world in terms of raw, like, numbers and profitability and just amount of stuff in the franchise. You may, if you hang out in certain anime spaces, have heard that not the last Detective Conan movie, but the one before that, had a Japanese dub which sold more tickets in Japan than Avengers Endgame. So yeah. It's a pretty big deal, and it's a deal I'm quite fond of, but it's also a deal that no one outside of Japan really seems to care all that much about anymore. Which is sad. So I want to do something about it. In my own unique, special way. Which is why tonight we're going to be watching the first movie. Now, Detective Conan is, of course, a long-running shonen manga running in Shonen Sunday, with all of the arcs and ongoing plotting and such and so on and so forth, which that implies. But the movies, the yearly theatrical movies... Okay, most for to grab some pie, BRB. I wish I had a pie. I was just talking about, right, Conan. The yearly theatrical movies of the series are, in fact, how a majority of people I know originally got into the franchise. I know they sell absurd amounts of tickets, as I mentioned previously. There are people who do not touch any other part of the franchise who will make a point to see every movie as it comes out. There are people I know who got really deep into mystery fiction in general just after having seen just a random one of the movies around the middle. Around the middle of the series. Hold on, there's something on my... Oh, being made of flesh, why are you so terrible? And the movies do, in fact, make for a rather inviting intro to the franchise. While they are, of course, grounded in the work which they bear the title of, and they are, if you watch them, like all of them, even the later ones, without watching the series, you will get spoiled for stuff. But if you don't care about stuff like that, or you're doing what we're doing today and watching one of the very early ones, before there were characters whose very existence was a spoiler, you'll find yourself not in that much trouble. Now, those of you who've been with the channel for a very long time, which I'm fairly certain is no one, but those of you who have, theoretically speaking, well, remember that this is not the first Detective Conan movie watch-along we have done on the channel. I did, in fact, do a watch-along of Detective Conan Movie 2, The 14th Target, quite a while ago, like when the channel was still decently young, actually. And somehow the VOD is still up on YouTube, despite the fact that I made a fairly sizable mistake while I was recording that. I have no idea how I managed to thread that needle, but we have checked our OBS, we are more experienced streamers, and we will not be making the same mistake this day. The movie we're going to be watching tonight is the first movie, as I believe I've said several times already. Movie 1, The Time-Bombed Skyscraper. Originally released in Japan on April the 19th, 1997. bearing a screenplay by Kazunari Koichi, based on an idea by original mangaka Gosho Oyama. Storyboards by Kenji Kodama and Masato Sato, two people who had a lot of experience with the franchise at this point, with Kodama also being the director. And keyframes, not all of them, but a decent amount of them, drawn by Gosho Oyama himself. I feel like a decent amount of them might have been overselling them a few. There's like one scene. Keep an eye out for it. If you've, read the original manga and you know Oyama's art style. Okay, I'm ready now. Good. I was just going over our credits and some historical information. This is going to be a fairly approachable movie for new people, so if you're new here, don't hesitate to follow along. But until then, if everyone in the audience is prepared, I will be hitting start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam. Toho. I feel like you make all Japanese movies nowadays, really? Is that just me? Is that just my limited perspective? Are you watching sub or dub? I am watching sub for consistency's sake, since, 9/10 of the franchise does not have dubs. We begin with an average episode already in progress. Could just be a guy named Jun, but I'm guessing there's none of them among suspects. My god, the great detective Kogoro Mori is here to save the day. See, they've even got 3 suspects. It's a perfect episode. They do say that's the first person you should suspect. As far as Kogoro false answers mean, that's actually not a bad answer. Though, of course, if you were actually leaving a dying message in plain text, you would just write the name directly. That's the hardest part of writing a dying message case. And it's why they're so miserable to solve. None of the other movies open with these sorts of case of the week cold opens, and I'm surprised. It's a very good way of showing off how the series works in a very quick, efficient manner, and increasing your MPS. Of course. Uh, the station? I'm assuming you're watching, in sub, Nana, given that you're a pretty big fan of a decent amount of the cast, and also you're, a colossal weeb. Yeah, I'm watching in sub. See? I knew it. God, designing Japanese keyboards must be so complicated. I remember hearing that's a big part of the reason why Japanese computers took so much longer to catch on than the rest of the world. Grabbing that bunk and stick and going right for it. Come on, you all noticed that, didn't you? The bit of blood that was missing on Exhibit A, which we all very clearly saw. It's a perfectly fair mystery. Is that like the only person who's ever died on his operating table? How did you know that was him so quickly? Oh, Monami. Don't you know that if you kill a killer, the number of killers in the world stays the same? That's why I should always endeavor to kill at least two. And the culprit was captured. And that was the movie. Thank you all for coming in today. It was a bit on the short side, but I really enjoyed it. You know, I did say anything at the time because I was distracted, but I really appreciated the animation on, when Kogito was drugged and getting knocked down earlier. And this is the bit they do every movie. I love the exposition dump segments. They're so efficient, they're such a good way of getting new people into the franchise, ensuring the movies are perfectly approachable. And they're so stylish. They do a different remix of this main theme every movie, and they're all absolute bangers. He's so wiggly now. Alright, everybody got that? Guitar player's going absolutely hog wild. Just rocking. Gadget intros? Yeah, I mean, if you get right down to it, the gadgets are among the most important parts of the franchise. I can't type. I guessed. Did I get it right? I don't actually know. And of course, as I've discussed in the past, the beloved solar-powered skateboard. Absolutely omnipresent, appears in every movie. Appears all of like 3 times in the manga. Where do you work out? The library. I like Takagasa's house. Oh, I'd like to live in a place like that. Hasn't Yusaku lived overseas for like 2 years at this point? But they keep sending mail to his Japanese house. Can't believe they'd introduced the bento box fax machine. I know, right? Everyone's favorite gadget, the bento box fax machine. Shinichi, your gadgets aren't actually helpful to the world. Butterflies in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. I'm sure kids will love the praying mantis. Yeah, yuck it up, old man. I'm sure the kids will love your horrible death robo bug monster. It comes with sides for hands. The kids love that. Alright, I'm just showing off animators. Alright, Shinichi. You've been playing this detective game for a very long time now. You know what's gonna show up if you get there. I mean, a tea party. A party and a tea party are very different things, I'll have you know. I mean, if you hang out with a big shot, then maybe now's your chance to be a big shot. Like all scientists, Professor Agasa has quite the evil laugh. Yes, Conan. That kid who is totally unrelated to me and I have no connection to whatsoever. I barely even recognize little ankle biter exists. I'm normal. Oh no! Shinichi's already organized a date on that day with... Shit, who else is even an option at this point? Well, there goes my crappy teen comedy joke. How's Shinichi gonna get out of this conundrum? I never was able to figure out how Sherlockians were able to organize stuff like that. God, that man is triangular. I'm not suspicious. They're cracking jokes about Golden Week because the movie was released during Golden Week, as all the movies are released on Golden Week. What are you talking about, Conan? Don't you know? Constitution Memorial Day is Ron's favorite holiday. Honestly, I can't even make fun of him for forgetting that. I do the same thing all the time. You forget too? I mean, I'm not used to having stuff to celebrate. Ron's been taking information from Dragon's Dream again. So when they say all-night movie, is it like a single movie that lasts, like, 6 to 12 hours? That sounds like the sort of avant-garde bullshit I'd absolutely be into. Oh, the irony. You can't just throw the word may in front of a word and then make it impressive. What's next? Is there gonna be a May janitor? A May taxi driver? Maybe some sort of May speed eater? God, where do we draw the lines? Anyway, look at this. I love you, love. Everyone's dressed in this case. Honestly, like, the Detective Conan cast in general are really fashionable. Like, Ron's putting on a good show, like, right now, but there are gonna be characters we meet later in the manga who are going to be way more consistently well-dressed. Shimetori. Conan, it's not cheating. It's improvising and adapting to overcome an obstacle. That was a wonderful face. I'm so glad we all got to share that with each other. Like all tea parties, it is very pink. That butler isn't real, he's just painted onto the wall. Okay, can we pause for a moment? I want to get some more information on the guy with the long hair who was wearing, like, blood red circular sunglasses. I saw him too. I mean, he wasn't exactly out of frame, Nanos. Killing it with his fits. Not how I would have phrased it, but whatever butters your toast, darling. My god, he made a sandwich? Truly, he is the most gracious host any of us could have possibly gotten. You damn kids these days! Yeah, pop quiz, hotshot. Alright, I hope y'all are ready for some Japanese language puns that none of us have any frame of reference for. I love movies. And begin! Okay, time to kill some time while the Japanese speaker is just gonna walk us through all this. I like that guy's shoes. Epic pipe lighting action. Kanji's so hard, oh my god. I know, right? Kokoro's oh no. He's powering up. Okay, thank god it's almost over. There we go. Empty. Yeah, that smug little bastard. Your prize is that you are allowed to go inside. What a coincidence. These buildings are so cool looking. Yeah, I know. I love how almost everything in Detective Conan is designed so lovingly. You got fancy mansions, you got fancy temples. With a manga that goes on this long, it would be very easy to just, completely burn out and start taking artistic shortcuts. And, like, given how on the cutting edge of technology the narrative is, I imagine he does, but it still consistently looks really good. And of course, getting a theatrical budget only improves that. Oh, Conan, you've grown complacent. Wah, wah, wah. I'm not watching the dub, but I remember in the dub, That last line that Professor Moriya said was changed to something like, "You know, I'm sure lots of young couples soon became young parents after meeting on a date in my theater." It was weird. I don't really have any sort of follow-up on that, I just thought it was funny. I also don't know why I gave him that voice, he didn't sound like an old man. Oh, shit. Somebody got the bombs. That's probably not great. Plastic plus explosives equals plastic explosives. Also, the victim's house was on fire. Man, do those people not get any breaks? That guy's using the same voice changer I am, you cheap bastard. I mean, that I didn't do it. Don't look at me. Don't look at me like that. In this case, it's moving real fast. All right, somebody call that number. Probably don't actually do that. Even if it did work, it would be long since burned out. And away he goes. Can't call it Japanese number, I don't have an international plan. That sounds like a skill issue, Nana. And don't go racing directly into the sparkly bits on the water, you'll go blind. Shoot your eye out, kid. None of the kids have last names. I mean, they do, but I guess the writers didn't care enough. What he sounds like. I'm assuming you're referring to Genta. That would probably be the one that got that response. That's not the voice I was giving Mitsuhiko. Might really Mitsuhiko? I'm surprised. I think it's pretty normal. Mitsuhiko is voiced in Japanese by Otani Ikue. The same voice actor plays Pikachu and Chopper. It's kind of a big deal. Sounds like a tiny baby. And he does. Genta is voiced by Watsu Takagi, who also plays Okuyasu, the titular character of Great Teacher Onizuka, and Garrett Ran from the protagonist of After War Gundam X. And Ayumi is voiced by Yukiko Iwai, I believe her name is pronounced, who really does not have any other prominent names on her resume. Like, you look up her page on My Anime List, it's just every single Detective Conan movie listed separately for Ayame. Well, I mean, that and the sort of stuff you have to, use a separate stage name for, but we don't talk about that. Anyway, while I was talking about all that, something just exploded. That was bad. They should probably do something about that. Kenta is just so consternated by what's happening right now. He vanished. To chat, do you think the movie is haunted? And away he goes. Hmm. 10 minutes to midnight. Hello, Detone. Welcome to the stream. I hope you aren't too lost. We're at the bit where Conan looks at the burger shop. Burger doesn't need to be spelled with 2 E's, right? Right. Logged in, but I am not lost. Well, that makes one of us. Kitty. 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 Kitty is explosive. He's gonna blow up a cat. He was gonna blow up a cat. What a dick. Out of the road, jackass. God, the people of this is so early in the series. People of Baker are still, like, surprised when shit like this happens. Super black. You've got to think that after, like, 25 plus years, eventually they're gonna get tired of it, but this was back when we were still young and fresh. So, like, did Shinichi used to do lots of biking before, like skateboarding before he got drugged? Cause he is tearing like a bat out of hell on that thing. Conan Akira power sliding on a pedal bike makes me sort of chuckle a bit. Ah, indeed, Conan. You can do almost anything I sing, apparently. Oh, Nana, you have no idea. And to think, there's a bus full of nuns right there, too. The vacant lot. Not the vacant lot, just a vacant lot. Conan's meeting with Kiryu isn't going to come until much later. Damn the skateboard. Damn the skateboard. Yeah, damn the skateboard. Down with the skateboard. No one likes the skateboard. No, Conan. And Conan is now dead. Okay, that's the movie. Thank you all for coming in today. It was a surprising ending, but honestly, I thought it was very dramatic. Conan got ball just a bit too hard. He lives! The miracle of life! It might take a while, Kogoro. That doctor looks like he's a refugee from some sort of soap opera about hunky doctors. Doesn't getting a medical degree require like a decade of study? How is that guy that young? There's no electronic medical devices in this hospital. Don't be silly, Conan. We don't actually have any way of contacting that kid, even if we wanted to pay him back. Haha, child endangerment. Hi, Billy Mays here with Kaboom. Order now and we'll double the amount of casualties absolutely free. Yep, there is some amount of actual evidence in here. Damn Bluetooth bums. God, I keep telling people the Internet of Things is nothing but an unnecessary security risk. It doesn't benefit anybody. And yet, people keep buying shit. It's a masterpiece. It could hang at the Louvre, right next to that cursed black image that Rohan investigated. Hmm. Yes. What's the most famous case Conan ever investigated? It's not the murder of any famous actors. It's not any case he got involved in that involved foreign politics. It's not even that other time he investigated a mayor committing a crime. It was this traffic accident. Clearly. Makes perfect sense. I don't know what you're talking about. Man, that car's fucked up. Lady must have been made out of titanium or something. Criminy. Man, remember when cars had cigarette lighters? I sure hope you don't. That would imply that you're very old, and that would give me an excuse to make fun of you. Also, don't smoke, it stunts your growth. This stream is sponsored by the American Health Association. Stop. In the name of love, before you break my heart. Well, at least look at the man when you're talking to him, Inspector. That's rude. Just 'cause he killed somebody doesn't mean you have to be mean about it. Yeah, shut that door, Conan. Kenichi, whatever your name is. We're almost exactly halfway into the movie at this point. That would probably be a violation of Nox's, rules. Alright. Move up, men. We're looking for a man who doesn't bathe. That doesn't actually narrow it down any. If the guy had a beard like that, criminy, he probably gets so much food stuck in it. Yeah. The children still haven't experienced the horrible depths of human suffering. 'And away they go. Mushy mushy. Phrasing. 5 bombs? That's as many as 5 ones. That's terrible. Alright. Here's our setup. If a Koko's trying to protect him from getting hurt again, it's so sweet. Yeah, Kodo does have a good heart. He's just, you know, he's got a drinking problem. It's the only problem when I run out. So they can't stop the trains at any point or the bombs will go off. Pop quiz, hotshot. There's a bomb on a train. If that train's speed drops below 60 kilometers an hour, it'll explode. So what do, hotshot? What do? You send children on the train, obviously. I mean, that just makes sense. How come train control stations look exactly like sci-fi sets? I always thought that was a bit too convenient. Honestly, I think the writers are just getting lazy or something. Gasp. It's incredible how much chaos you can cause with a few letters. Well, I mean, that and a high explosive. Let's not forget. Somebody set them up the bomb. But hey, they're on a lucky train. They'll be fine. What is an emergency, really, chat? In this transient world in which we all live, what can really be called a true emergency? Think about it, won't you? Thank you. I don't know, were they? Kent is feeling very philosophical today, it seems. You're right, Mitsuhiko. There is a bird on the train. It's very cute, you should go feed it. I mean, they are going to die, just, depends on how long it takes. Alright, time to make the children do all the dangerous work. I mean, yeah, you were telling for a lot, they were probably building up a lot of minutes. Shit gets expensive, Conan, Criminy. Mitsuko's just like Baby Chopper, I love him. He's just baby, he's trying his best. I like the guys in the background of that scene just going, peace, in the middle of the emergency broadcast. Big fucking TV, Jesus Christ on my. You gotta keep in mind, Nana, this movie did come out in 1997. That's just what TVs were like back then. None of those damn kids these days, flat screen televisions and their LCD crystals, and their blue sky crystal meth, and their Nintendo Swatches, and their great detectives, and their locked room murders, and their TikToks, and their torn off jeans, and their polo shirts, and their fancy homemade lagers, and their OBS programs, and their PlayStation 7s, and their. I don't know how much longer I keep this bit going, chat. Help! Help me! Oh my god, we totally do not have enough time to promote dinner! That's not because I thought she's so fashionable. I mean, she's got the money to burn on clothes. I hate children. No, don't jump, you have so much to live for! Or at least do a flip. Lol. Lol indeed, Detone. Lol indeed. Alright. Let those neurons touch. He got it, everybody. He got it. The oh noise he made. The surprise noises people make in general are very funny. Just not just in this series, but like in general. Alright, I did not know it was going to be math when I signed up for this. Alright, problem solved. Alright, now we just gotta shuffle our trains around. Do 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 do. Sure is a good thing that our train conductor master was a master of puzzle games as well. Engaging Chevron 1. Engaging Chevron 2. Engaging Chevron 2. We had to engage Chevron 2 twice because it's special like that. And then they did the same thing 20 more times. And the crowd goes wild. Yay. This is like the main theme to the entire series, and it's such a bop. The train's going that fast on turns makes me so uneasy. Drastic times call for drastic measures, Nana. They really wanted to stabilize things they could go for multi-track drifting, but given that their goal is to get off that one track, not sure how much pop in the Eurobeat would help. And so, once again, the day is saved thanks to the Detective Puff Boys. And these cops are getting some great cardio workouts in today. Bomb sniffing doggos. That dog's eyes are super whack, actually. Bakudan Hanken. Bakudan Hanken, chat. Bakudan Hanken. Yes, Kokoto, that's how fractions work. Well, there goes that plot thread. Glad you enjoyed it. And we don't have the budget for that. The murderer is a child. The fact that the Japanese word for apartment is literally the English word mansion really fucks with my head. God, he's thinking so hard. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Conan. Do-do-do-do. I'm still not over the fact that the Kudokawa family, got their patriarch murdered and their house burned down right back to back. What the hell sort of cursed star were they born under, criminy? Sonoko's great, I love Sonoko. She's just here enjoying the series same as us. Bomber is the arsonist, huh? Fire, fire, fire. That guy clearly has some opinions. And those opinions include fire being very pretty. Which is true. Conan's got a vertical leap like twice his own height. It's really impressive. Swinging that camera around like it's on a chain. Can only imagine what that place smells like. Probably could have figured that much from my own. Thank you, though. Is something like that even possible? I don't know, Conan. You want to tell us what it is? Look at these photographs. Have an idea of what's going on? And feel free to share if you want, Nana. I already know the answer. I have nothing to contribute here. I would like someone to bounce off of. Though honestly, they are laying the who on a bit thick here. My god. Conan can finally see why kids love the great taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He's getting too powerful. He's destroying his own works, right? Uh, they're gonna reveal this in a few minutes. Yeah, that's it. There are no other suspects in this case. It's just kinda clear. It's like 2 new characters in this entire movie. I can't believe the culprit of this mystery movie was Professor Moriya T. Professor Moriya Page. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it, chat? It's funny. Laugh. It's not actually all that funny. He's more of a simony problem than Death the Kid. Yeah, he does. I think the entire world should be symmetrical. You know it is, right? Well, good. I hope it stays that way. It's just an orb. Away they go. Alright, time for the obligatory drawing room scene, and Kogoro's eyes were drawn very sparkly just then. Did y'all see that? Guy spontaneously transformed into a shoujo heroine. It was terrifying. I knew it! You know, for being completely honest, this sounds more like the answer to a mystery than the answer Conan's about to drop on us. Like, And that's a solid motive, right? That that makes sense. It's more than I can say for Professor Moriya. I did not mean to blow your mind. That stuff happens to me all the time. If you've ever been involved in any sort of artistic creation, you will understand this feeling incredibly well. So he did plant all those bombs entirely out of kids these days feelings. That's why I don't trust old people. Yeah, damn those building laws. Don't you know they're just interfering with people's artistic visions? I don't care if you say I have to introduce a fire escape. If my artistic vision requires me to build the entire building out of asbestos and make all the pipes of lead, I will, damn it. That's my right. I'm an American. Where is Nishitama City in relation to everything else? This place never comes up outside this one movie. People keep falling for that, and every time it surprises me. My glasses have never been that clean since the day I first got them. Oh no. Oh no, to quote Knuckle the Echidna. I mean, we couldn't actually tell all that. Man, he clapped that, that handcuff directly over his watch. That is going to chafe so badly. My god. I'm never going to get those watch-shaped marks out of his wrist. Man, Majima, you really ruined everything, didn't you? Not Ron. I mean, maybe Ron. Oh man, all that trash. I'm never gonna manage to clean up what's about to happen here. Those people are all dead now. Ron, meanwhile, is doing a little shimmy shake. Partying like it's 1999. Even though it's actually got 2 more years. I can't tell if those are better or worse laid out than the ones from Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. If you knew how to read them, they'd at least be more straightforward, I suppose. Also, tell him happy birthday. I heard that was coming up soon at the garden party. I hope he enjoys himself. Heh. Nothing personnel, kid. Do they teach you how to make bombs at architecture school? Is that a thing? Is that how I meant to interpret this? Sure, you get my crush now. She can't actually die, though. This movie's not, like, part of the main manga, so they can't do stuff like that. It'd get too confusing. Man, phones were built really solidly back then. There was debris flying all over the place. You know, if you really think about it, this bombing spree and near-death experience is the only reason Conan is still keeping his secret identity right now. So in the end, maybe Professor Moriya was the real hero all along. But probably not. I mean, at the time it took you to say that, I did lose some time, so it doesn't really say that anymore. Be a little more precise, Ron. Criminy. The building is very on fire. That little moment there a lot. You kind of go, wait, and you assume he's, like, concerned that Ron will get too close and figure out his secret identity, but it's just because he's concerned for her safety in actuality. I mean, at least that's how I always see it. I don't know what's happening in your brain right now. I would absolutely watch Shinichi and Ron play Keep Talking Nobody Explodes. I don't know about you all. A whole bunch of other media nowadays is like getting affiliated VTubers specifically to promote their shows. Why not, Conan? Need a friend? How about Conan? That cannot be how bombs work in real life. And that's the movie. Thank you for coming. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's a bit of an abrupt ending, but have you ever played Keep Talking Now One Explodes? A few times. I do own it, actually. Yeah, that's the moment. You got the red wire or the blue wire? Hasn't the man been through enough? Our buildings don't need to love people. I love how much he cares about his dog. I know, right? Coco is such a fun character. I love him so much. I love all the characters in this book so much. birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, that's not actually something you would be happy about, Shinichi. I'm sorry. He says they'll be together the whole time. Then something comes along and separates them. When you get right down to it, it was really their entire relationship. Why always with the shoulders, Criminy? A wedding anniversary and a birth anniversary are kind of the same thing, right? Run, run, run. Mm, mm, mm. I feel like that timer wasn't going that fast earlier. Is that just me? If it's just me, I'll stop. Hasta la vista. Survey says. Hey, they're not dead, hooray. The series can continue for 25 more movies. Mein Gott. They did it. That's the bit where we all get to go home. Kokodo, you gotta hydrate after that. You're gonna desiccate yourself out like a mummy. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And after quite a few jokes, that is the actual for reals this time end of the movie. First movie really does feel like the movie, which all of the other Detective Conan movies are trying to copy from. Starting, of course, with I don't want to assume anything's obvious. I know a majority of people are not familiar with this franchise, but to me, who's been here from the beginning, the two things the Detective Conan movies are most famous for are featuring lots of explosions and featuring culprits with insanely petty motives. And both of those were really on full display today. We got some pretty quick and dirty cameos from most of the core cast as they exist at this point. Weren't able to get any appearance of Mary, but then again in the movies at this point she really only had one showing to show for herself at this point, so suppose that's only true to life. The mystery wasn't super great, but at the end of the day, really enjoy this movie. It's always fun to come back to. And hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Kuro. So, fun little trivia note this movie, as I mentioned, I think a bit before you showed up, Nana, this movie's screenplay was written by Kazunari Koichi, but it was based on an idea that Aoyama himself had come up with, like long, long ago. I believe I've mentioned in the past that a big part of Aoyama's writing style is coming up with scenes in isolation and then looking for opportunities to string them together. So the idea of, the protagonist facing off against a bomb threat, and that ending that Nana is currently losing their shit over of the, I didn't want to cut the red string. After all, one of those might be connecting us. That was a moment he'd been planning to work into a manga somewhere since he'd been working on Yaiba. Then after that, well, romance is dead, kids. Anyway, he'd been working on that since he was working on Yaiba, but Yaiba's a pretty shameless Dragon Ball clone, so he couldn't really fit it in there. Then he was planning to do it for... Come on, Mitsu Words, what are you trying to say? For a Magic Kaito episode after that. But in the end, he couldn't find a place to do that, so when he found out that they were planning a Detective Conan movie instead, he pitched that and asked them to do it. Aoyama is also the author of the... What am I thinking? What am I saying? The keyframes in the scene where they envisioned Shinichi standing next to back with Ron. Yeah, Ayama's always very involved and very hands-on with his own works, and I think they're all better off for it. But, Nana appears to have forgotten how to continue speaking in words, so I guess that's where we'll be calling this stream today. Taking a gander over our list, it looks like Moody Presents has just recently gone live for the game for Mega Man ZX Advent. That sounds like a plan. Movie was so good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Nanners. I have fun with these. So, tomorrow we will be viewing. Not viewing anything. I mean, you might be viewing it because it's gonna be on stream, but we'll be playing more of the Somnium Files. Nana is cheering her head off, right? Cheering their head off right now. I have been doing this for like 10 months and I still never figured out how to end a stream. Thank you all for coming today. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed putting it on for you. And I will see all of you later. Goodbye, everyone.